Hello everyone, welcome once again to Akwaaba, Canada. Thank you all so very much for joining us on this channel. If you're new to this channel, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and also to click the like button so that you get all the prompts once we make any posting. For our existing subscribers, we want to say thank you so very much for being part of this project, and thank you so much for being with us. We know that we have kept you waiting for a while. It's been a while since we posted a video. Yes, there were a lot of few things that we needed to do. We had few projects here and there. I mean, work and all that, right? We need to work to get something elsewhere, and also a few things that needed to be done. But it's good to be back on this channel, and we've got lots of updates for you. Today, we're going to be sharing something that would inform a lot of decisions moving forward, especially for our students, because there are a lot of changes that are happening in the immigration aspect. And as we said in our previous recordings, if you're new, you can go back to review it. But we started giving you previews of some of the changes that the Canadian government is doing in terms of immigration, study permits, and all of those likes. Okay, so today we have some updates for our international students and international students in Canada, and even for those of you who are planning to come to Canada to study. This is a very important information that you cannot miss. You cannot afford to miss this. We will encourage you to pin this somewhere and share with others so that they are informed on some of the changes that is going to be happening. We are predicting that this will happen soon and possibly might happen in fall of 2024. Now, the IRCC is looking at ways to be able to make changes and make things easier for themselves and for their stakeholders. So just before I proceed, let me just make this disclaimer that I am not an immigration consultant, I'm not an immigration lawyer, neither do I have any authority from any immigration facility to be able to make this. These are my own views. You are at your own discretion to make your judgment and to review it. These are just information that we're sharing out there and just an analysis of the issue that is at hand. So this document is in circulation here and it's online, and you can make your own research. We're here to provide you the information. It's up to you to decide on how you want to use the information. Okay, so back to the issue. So what is the issue? The issue is that the IRCC, and IRCC here is Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada. They are the body that is in Canada that regulates everything in terms of your applications, your permits, everything, your visas and all that. They are the ones that handle all those things. So they are the ones that make decisions. They are the ones that make modernizations and all that. But they don't just do that. They do that in collaboration with stakeholders. So Canadian government is part of it. The ministry is part of it. Institutions are part of it. Provinces are part of it, and other diverse stakeholders. So before they make any decision, what they usually do is to engage the stakeholders. They don't just impose things. So if you see an announcement being made by IRCC, it's not just an announcement that just comes out a day and it's gone. Everybody in the industry would be aware. So if it is for work, it is for school, it's for visit, it's for different categories, every stakeholder you can think of is aware of it. And this document that we have right here is one of such. Now, this one is in relation to international students. So it is important, as I said, that students who are in Canada and even those who are yet to come to Canada take this serious. This is very important information that is going to determine how things progress with your future in terms of education. Now, every student, when you come to school in Canada, back in 2008, changes were made. Those changes were made as a result of the financial crisis that everyone is aware that happened within the European countries and other big shots. Even in Africa, it happened. So there were difficulty in terms of employment, in terms of job, in terms of finances. Everything was almost crashing. So economies were trying to find ways to be able to stabilize their system. And one of the things that Canada did, which was smart, was that, okay, students who are here and are studying, we will not allow them to just leave. We would ensure that we keep them in the system. How do we keep them? We'll offer them an open work permit so that they can work. Now, that resources will be maintained, will be kept in the country, and it would help grow the Canadian economy. And I can say for sure that this has helped over the period. Now, ever since 2008, there hasn't been any changes to that system. Now, if you're a student, you are issued a postgraduate work permit, in short, PGWP. That is what is issued to a student. And it's an open work permit that allows students to be able to work anywhere, any job, any place. There are no restrictions to that. So it's just like the straightforward open work permit that somebody would get. Now, I'll be reading from a document, but I'm projecting it as well in the video so you would see it. And this document is a survey that was put across by the IRCC. The IRCC sent the survey out, and I'll give you what they are looking to do, the purpose of the survey. So the survey, they named it as PWG Calibration to Labor Market Needs. So postgraduate work permits calibration to labor market needs. They are trying to be able to calibrate, or to make some changes to it, so that whatever postgraduate work permit that they are issuing meets the demand of a job and meets a specific need. So just as I said, before they make any decisions, they usually would send out some questionnaires and some surveys to stakeholders. And this document is one of such that was sent out to the stakeholders in this country, and we chanced upon it. So we're going to digest into this. We're going to get into this document and kind of give you our view of what we think is going to happen based on the document that we have. But of course, once we read it, it's clear, so you'll be able to also make your own judgment as well as to what you think is going to happen. Now, the main purpose of this survey that is sent out is to align PGWP eligibility with labor market needs while reducing the overall volume of postgraduate work permit holders. So essentially, they are looking to be able to make some alignment and make some changes, which would help in the issuance of a postgraduate work permit as against the market, the labor market needs in terms of job market and all of that. And I'll continue. It says, an increase in the likelihood that international students have labor market outcomes commensurates with their education and training. So in short, if you finish school and you studied, for instance, masters in business administration or masters in whatever, or you did a technical education and you did like personal support worker, what kind of job would it suit? How would your postgraduate work permit that is issued align with what you studied in school? Basically, that's what you're trying to do. So they are trying to be able to, currently there's nothing like a criteria. Everybody finish school, you get your postgraduate work permit. So once you do a program, whether it's a college or what do you call it, a tertiary one, or a higher one, which is masters and all that, whether it's masters, doctorate and all that, you get a work permit. Now, if you did a 1-year program, you'll be issued a 1-year postgraduate work permit, meaning that you have a 1-year open work permit to be able to work and continue with the other immigration stats. If you do like a program of 2 years, you get a 3-year open work permit. That's what is existence now. You get a 3-year postgraduate work permit, which allows you to work. But there are no restrictions as to what work you can do or how it's tied to the permit that is issued. So they are basically looking at revising that situation and changing it to what they are looking to do now. So moving on, what is the NOC CIP mapping? Now, the ESDC and IRCC mapped National Occupation Codes, that is the NOC, programs to study using the Classification of Instruments program, that's the CIP system. So this system is what helps them to be able to determine which profession or which area of study or which area of the market that there is a need, and they will link it to which job it is. So the NOC, which is the National Occupation Code, for instance, if you want to apply for PR, express entry and all that, there are codes as to the classifications that you have. So if you are HR, there's a specific code to it. That code is trickled down to, if it is HR, there's admin and all of that. So there are specific jobs that you can do based on the code. And these are all categorized in the system. The fact that you might not know doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists. Every job has been classified. So essentially, that's what they're talking about. Now, this shows the program of study that corresponds to the educational requirements of occupations in long-term shortages. And these long-term shortages are projected to cover 2022 to 2031. And occupations include express entry, categorized based selection, as I said. So they have done all this and they have made projections up to 2031 based on the need of a market, the Canadian market, and the shortages that they have. So they always do the forecast and do the projections. So mind you, they don't just approve visas anyhow. They look at engaging stakeholders and see what the needs are, and then they strategize. And that's why sometimes they might approve more areas, they might approve these areas based on the need of the market and the economy. Now, for example, the carpenter knock is mapped to any of the following 3 programs of study: construction trades, carpentry, woodworking, and general. So just one code, which is the carpentry, you see the kind of jobs that is mapped under. So you might have, as I said, you will have the human resource or HR and admin, but that will be mapped into different categories of jobs that you can do underneath it. Mind you, these professions, artisanal jobs, are jobs that are really in demand. They are high-end jobs that pays a lot. So like the healthcare area, Canada needs people in that area. We have a shortfall in the healthcare area, so there's always a need. Those are categorized as in-demand jobs. Carpentry, because of construction and building and project and all that, is also in-demand need. So those are all in-demand jobs. So what they are seeking to do essentially is to be able to come up with a strategy to say that which jobs or which areas do we need people most. In that sense, how do we categorize it such that we issue postgraduate work permits to align with that, so that the market is always satisfied and we get the supply that we need from the institutions, right? And for the future, the near future, what it also means is that if you come to school in Canada, it will get to a point where you might not be issued a postgraduate work permit based on the program that you did. Is your program part of the in-demand job? Does your program fall under those categories? And that's why they are doing this survey. And that's why they're engaging the stakeholders to say, this and this is what we want to do. We're looking at categorizing programs. So these ones will tell us which jobs should we give you the work permit. How many months should we give you a postgraduate work permit? For instance, how many years should we give you, as opposed to currently where it's given random. Whether you did 1 year, you get 1 year. Whether you did 2 years, you get 3 years. So this is going to structure that. Now let's get into the key questions that they sent to these stakeholders. And they send these questions to them because they are the people that are going to be able to benefit from whatever program that they're going to do. So if it's the province, if it's the school, it falls back to them. Now the first one is, and these are 8 key questions that they sent to them. It says, if PGWP eligibility were restricted based solely on occupations in shortage and corresponding programs of study, which occupations should be included based on the needs in your area? And as I said, you can deduce that these stakeholders, clearly the provinces are part of it. Clearly, because what is saying, it is directed straight to the provinces. The provinces are the ones that determine or helps the Canadian government to know what the areas that they need those jobs, what is classified as in-demand jobs. So they will do a survey and indicate that in 2023, so and so in-demand jobs are required to be able to help the economy in this particular province or this particular area. And again, they are saying that which of those shortages do you have, the occupations, which of the areas do you have shortages that corresponds with the program of study? And this will be linked to the schools. So you all know the programs. The provinces knows every program. They approve it. They do all that. So they are now going to revise and say, okay, these are the programs that we have in these particular schools in this province. How does that meet or help us be able to meet the demand that we need for the in-demand jobs? Essentially, that's what it's going to do. And this is a question that they are sending to them. They continued from here. They said, please indicate if there are any occupations in shortage that should have been reflected in the mapping document along with your rationale. So this is a straightforward question to them. And this question can quickly be linked to, you remember we did a video where the Canadian immigration system decided to make an announcement and just didn't make an announcement. Now they made changes such that the provinces would have the power to give you a letter of attestation. That letter is saying that we have satisfied and we are satisfied that this program that the person is coming to do, we accept him to come and do. We are also approving that, yes, it meets what we need. And that falls within the quota system that they gave them. You remember that? So clearly, this is going to be aligned to that and say that if we are giving you the attestation to come to study in Canada, which areas do we have need for? So somebody coming to do carpentry. Do we need more carpenters in this province to help our economy as opposed to somebody who's coming to do international marketing? Just, you understand, just compare the two. So the province will now decide and say, okay, in that case, we rather would give these people this approval to be able to do these programs. And this is what they are asking them to do. Tell us, give us the rationale. Don't just tell us, justify it. So justify your inclusion, so to speak, right? Justify it that these so and so programs are the ones that will meet that in-demand job based on the statistics that you have and based on the attestation that you're going to be given. So here, it will link it to the schools. The schools will also now give the provinces those information. Tell us the programs that you do. What are the numbers? How many do you get from this and that? And so that's why it's important that they are doing this with all these stakeholders, because it would affect all of them and it would affect us as international students as well. So you're fortunate to have this information on this channel. Now we'll move on to the second one. The second question says, what, if any, cohorts should be exempted from these changes, such as Francophone students or graduate degree programs or others? Please indicate the rationale. So the cohorts, it's like the programs segmentations that we have in the schools. So you can have maybe marketing, but different cohorts. Now, you see where this thing is leading to. Francophone. So Canada is a bilingual country. Straightforward, they do bilingual. So people who are coming from the Francophone countries already have an advantage. It is saying that if others should be exempted from it, if there are other people who should be exempted, such as Francophone, straight away they've mentioned it. You can deduce that straight. Francophones will be exempted from this because they need them to be able to grow the economy. This province that I live in is bilingual province. They need Francophones. They wouldn't let you go. Student graduate degree program. Graduate degree programs are masters, doctorates, and all those likes. So clearly those ones might be part of those exemptions. Who knows? But I'm saying that for the fact that they've mentioned here as an example, it clearly shows that these two guaranteed might be taken out of it. So they want that system to be built, but they're saying that they should justify it with a rationale. Now, the third one says, should international students be required to demonstrate proof of a job offer aligned with occupational shortages list in order to hold the postgraduate work permit beyond 1 year? Currently, they give the postgraduate work permits and they can give beyond 1 year. They give 1 year, they give 2 years, they give 3 years. So what they might want to do is to limit it to 1 year. That's what they put there. However, as it exists now, you don't need a job offer to be able to apply for the postgraduate work permit. What they are saying is that they are asking the stakeholders, and these stakeholders, you clearly can say that this is going to the schools and other places. Should students be required to get a job offer first? Meaning that your job should be in demand and you would have gotten an offer of employment, and based on that, the postgraduate work permit that we are giving to you, you are not going to struggle to look for a job. You already have a job to suit or to meet that postgraduate paper that is given to you. It's just like somebody coming into Canada and has open work permit. That's why open work permit is not issued easily. Open work permit means that you are just coming into Canada and now coming to look for a job. Whether it meets your area of speciality, your background or not, you're just coming to look for a job. That is what this is seeking to do. In the end, it's going to be according to what you studied, according to what you came to do. Was it worth doing it? So I always say, if you come to Canada and you come to school and you came with a program A and you get into the countries, talk to people who can help you. Sometimes we give people advice and they feel that you don't want them to progress or you don't want them to do whatever. I did masters and I did a postgraduate diploma. To be honest with you, if I had some information, I would have done some other programs and not do the masters, right? So if you get that opportunity, you can change the program once you're in Canada. Once you are here and you've started your school, you can change the program and schools would help you do that. and you notify IRCC, and that is changed. Don't do that whilst you are outside Canada. No, you have to do that when you are here. So that would help you to be able to do. We'll move on to the next one. So just before I continue, I said we will continue, but I'm just trying to give you a background to what they are doing. Now, what they are trying to do is to be able to align these things so that it would help boost the economy based on which provinces. There are smaller provinces in Canada that you probably haven't heard of that are struggling in terms of how to be able to align the professions of people, how to be able to align the educational background of people that are coming out and getting jobs. People finish masters and work at Tim Hortons and all of that. They don't want to do that. So they're looking to align it such that it would help the population growth, it would help the economy also grow, it would also sustain people in the province. People will not just come study here and leave. They will study and want to stay. You understand? Okay, so let's continue. Number 4, should any other eligibility criteria, such as language, provincial support, etc., apart from a job offer, be applied to PGWP holders seeking to extend their work permit past 1 year? Now, presently, there are provincial nominee programs that you can use after getting your postgraduate work permit to be able to get, for instance, your PR. And other people also apply. So they are saying that if, as part of the category, should they include something like language? So for instance, in a particular province, if they are bilingual and they want to support people who are bilingual, should that be added as part of the category? Another thing is provincial support. Should the province support people who are looking to extend their work permit after 1 year? And if you look at what they are doing, this is the second time they are mentioning past 1 year or beyond 1 year. So clearly they are looking to restrict or cut down this postgraduate work permit to just 1 year. Take note, they are looking to do that. And so that 1 year that they probably would issue you at the first spot, if you're looking to extend it, they probably are going to tie it into language. So for instance, a province like New Brunswick, which is bilingual, it probably might become a requirement for you to be able to now learn French to be able to do some jobs or get some approvals or be able to speak in fluency and all of that, right? Provincial support. It would mean that possibly you might need the province to support your application to get it extended beyond 1 year and be able to stay in that province, right? Because they are looking for people to stay and staying to be able to help grow that economy, right? So that's what they're looking to do. So if you look at all of this that you're saying, clearly it is going to be a major shakedown, but it's good that we know beforehand so that you prepare yourself. We move on to the next one, which is the 5th one. What is your view of applying these labor market-based changes to the PGWP eligibility to all graduates upon announcements this year? So you notice what I said, that this is possibly going to happen in 2024. And they said upon announcement this year. So what are their views, the stakeholders, on applying these labor market changes to the eligibility criteria? What do they think? They didn't end there. They say rather than grandfathering students who are already studying in Canada at the time of implementation. So they are looking, there's no doubt about it, they will start this year. However, what they are asking these stakeholders is, should we start and enforce it so that it applies to everyone cut across, whether you came in or did this or not? Like recently in the past, when COVID hit, after COVID, they made changes and extended for students to be able to work after more than 20 hours. What they did, they didn't just do open, they did the grandfathering. So they said those who were in the system as at a particular date, they gave them that option to be able to work 40 hours. So it wasn't everyone. And people who made mistakes suffered when they were going to apply for their PR. They were all questioned because they had overworked. So that is what they are looking to do. Should we start it and say everyone should fall within that category when it starts today? Everyone, it applies to everyone. Or should we do grandfathering, saying that those who are already studying, we will leave you to continue with it progressively until probably such a time where it would cut. And then those who are coming into the system new, once you finish studying, this is going to be applied to you, so you have only one. That is what they are looking to do. And they are very smart. You know, they do these things to help because they are very, very aware of what the economies need, what the provinces need to be able to help grow their population. Let's move on to number 6. Number 6 says, how often should the occupational shortage list be revised, and at what point thereafter should it be applied to students whose study is underway? Take note, the system that the Canadian government runs is never permanent. They always implement measures and they give timelines. And these timelines help them to be able to make revision based on the outcome. Say, did this help us achieve the target? Did this help us? Should we extend it to stay? So they will do this like a pilot and say maybe 2 years or 3 years. After the pilot, they will do a review and say, did it meet the need that we wanted to achieve? Did the provinces benefit from it? Did the schools benefit from it? Did we get the right student to come into the country to study? And after that, they will revise it. They are just asking them how often they should be able to make this revision. So tell us. Now they've thrown the question to them. Tell us what you think. Based on that, they already have it in their pocket, what they want to do. And as I said earlier, this postgraduate work permit, the PGWP, since it was implemented in 2008, there has never been any changes. They haven't made any changes as to how it would be run and all of that. So this is a major decision that they're looking to change. No. Should we just leave it to run just as we did in 2008 until such a time? Or should we put some timelines like we did with the students, allowing them to work past this period? That is what they're looking to do. Should we do that or put measures in place? Number 7 says, do changes to the PGWP being explored align with the profile of candidates you would like to remain working in your jurisdiction in the long term? So back to them, the people that you have in the system that are working currently, and the changes that we were looking to do implemented, would they help you with their profiles of those candidates, help you so that they remain in the province and help you grow? This is demand and supply. Students are coming in. Do we have control as to how many students are coming in? Presently, no. Are we concerned about students who are coming in who don't really meet the demand of the economy? Yes, that is the truth. So now they have given them the opportunity. Tell us what you think. The provinces are going to tell them what they think they would need. Because some provinces are smaller. They don't have big industries like the other province, but they are always overwhelmed with students. Students come, they study, and then they leave. Population growth is not stable. So population is growing at January. By the next December, population is reducing. What is happening? They are all concerned because they are not able to help with planning. They are not able to strategize for the economy. At one point, they had maybe 5 million. The next 3 years, it will reduce to like 2 million. Like yes, that's what is happening here. People are always on demonstration, not getting jobs, this and this. It's affecting them. So now they're going to get power to be able to decide how many people they want to accept and how many people they think will stay in the economy. Remember, I always keep saying that our president of Ghana once upon a time, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory, said, procrastination is a thief of time. Self-government now. You understand me after I finish this last sentence. So now the last question that they asked on the survey, it says, is your PNP, that is Provincial Nominee Program, positioned to offer a viable pathway to permanent residence for international graduates with job offers in these key sectors? So now the PNP program that they have, that doesn't have any category. Currently, the PNP program doesn't have anything. So long as you went to school in this country and you went to school in the province and you have a job and you want to apply, you fall into it. So now what they are seeking to do, as I said up there, they're looking to tie it based on your job offer that you have. It had already been categorized and you got the job offer based on that. The categorization helped you to get the postgraduate work permit. So should it be tied into it? It says, are there any gaps between the labor market needs you have identified and your PNP's existing stream? Which I can confidently say, yes, there might be some gaps because there are no specific restrictions. There are other criteria, like if you have lived in the province for so and so years, if you have worked in the province for so and so years, if you have studied in the province for so and so years, but it doesn't categorize that if you have studied ABC or if you have done 1, 2, 3. Now it's probably going to do that based on what you're asking them to do. And it says, will any PMP stream amendments be required to ensure they remain responsive to graduates and PGWP holders in specific occupations, in terms of regulated occupations like nursing and all of that? So now they are going to look at that and revise that as well. It is important that you make a lot of research when you're taking this major decision as traveling to Canada or any other country to study. It is important for you to be able to do your research, to know the labor market in terms of what is the need against the supply, what is required, what is lacking in a specific area, so that when you're doing a program that would help you get into work straight away. And I said earlier, people come here study and they find it difficult to find specific jobs to do, because there are some programs that you do that, my brother, my sister, I'm telling you, you will struggle to get a job. You just do the program and that's it. Like the STEM areas, right? Currently, technology, engineering, the science, healthcare and all that, they are booming. People are they need it here. But imagine if you do some of these arts programs, the social sciences programs, sometimes it's difficult for you to get a job. All we are advising you to do is to be able to do your research. Make sure you take note of the updates that are coming into the system. Get the right program. If you come in and you realize that you have done your research and such programs will not lead you to the right place, please change it. I know of someone who came here with a different program, wanted to do science, something. He went quickly, switched to do carpentry. He's earning over whatever dollars an hour and he's living good. He's now his own boss. People come in, they realize that, wow, personal support work is an area that is really, really booming. They move into that. Don't be stuck because you think that this is what I wanted to do and that's what I want to do. Ask yourself, would it really, really, really help in this economy? Would you get a job? Would you get all the areas? Make sure that you check the updates that are happening to be able to help you make the right decision. We have given you enough information. I know this is going to be a good resource. Make sure you listen to the video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Subscribe to our channel, Akwaaba Canada. Mind you, the Canadian immigration system is not static. It keeps changing every now and then. And so that's why we always encourage you to make sure you take the decision and take advantage of the opportunities that are coming. Also, for those who are applying for schools and coming to the country, stop using agents doing your program and all of that. Look, somebody gets here, they don't even know the program, what the program is for and all of that. An agent just did. Be involved in the process. Make sure you know the program that you're doing. Do your research. Get the right people to help you with your application process. Don't just pay money to people who are just sitting in your country, like in West Africa where I come from, and they're just taking money and they're applying any program. People come here, they get stranded, they are not able to go to school and they're seeking for asylum and all that. We are the reason for all these major changes because they are monitoring the system. And I keep saying, everything is monitored here. Make sure that you are involved in the process. Make sure you get the right information. Make sure you reach out to the right people to be able to help you with all of that. We always put access to people who can help. If you don't want it, get the right people to help you. In the coming weeks, we are going to announce, we're going to do another video, and that is also another major changes that we are doing in respect of the same PGWP, the postgraduate work permit. Stay tuned and watch. You will see what we're talking about. There's going to be another major change that is coming. Every day things are changing. So just make sure that you're monitoring what is happening. Would thank you all for being part of this recording, and we appreciate your support. We continue to encourage you to subscribe to our channel. We'll continue to encourage you to like our videos and share our videos with all your friends and your contacts. And we'll see you again shortly with another video. Until we come your way again on this channel, This is Akwaba, Canada. See you again another time, and thank you so much for being part of us.